Hey folks, Dan Frio here with your opening bell for June 13th, 2025. So I should say special report because we have some wild things going on in the market right now. If you just woke up, we have Israel bombing Iran. So what does that mean? Well, I got up early this morning to check the bond market and I start scratching my head. I'm like, usually when you have conflict like that, you see the Dow Jones and the equity markets taking it on the chin, which we're seeing today. But also what we normally see is people fleeing to safety. So that usually means they move into the bond market and drive up yields or drive down yields and the price is up. The opposite's happening today. All of a sudden, the bond market's kind of going down and it's a head scratcher. So I want to educate you guys today what normally happens when you have international conflict like this. I want to go over examples in history that we saw. I want you to understand fleeing to safety, why people move their money out of equities into the bond market, why this is normally good for these things over here. So my name is Dan Frio. I do this report actually twice a day so you understand what's going on with these things over here. If you're looking to buy or refinance, this is really important. So I do this every day to help you guys out because I'm actually a mortgage loan advisor. I'm licensed in all 50 states as well as Puerto Rico, and I'd love to help you if you're looking to buy or refinance. We do have a slogan, one application, one credit pool. We're going to shop your loan over 30 different lenders. Now, how do we do that? I'm going to give you all that information at the end of this video because we got to get to this news right now. So what's happening in the markets right now? Here's what's happening. Dow Jones down 500 points right now. All the way across the board, you have the indices down. You have oil spiking to $73 a barrel, up 7%. You guys know how I feel about oil, folks. This is inflationary. And you also have bond yields also going up. So we have the stock market going down and we have bond yields going up, meaning people aren't moving their money into safe havens. What do I mean by this? Well, let's get over to a chart I created. So what normally happens when you have international confusion and international unrest is right through here. And I'm going to show you why. Okay, so normally what happens when you have this unrest, like war that's going on right now, the stock markets will drop off substantially and you'll move into defensive sectors in the markets. Bonds rally, lower yields. Gold and oil often spike with supply concerns. Well, let's look at it. Stocks are down 500 points. Oil's up 7% over to $75 a barrel. So we should see a rally in the bond market with lower yields. Well, what are we seeing today? If we go over to the bond market, you're seeing this. When the price goes down, rates go up. So it's pushing yields up. So there's a disconnect right now, and the concerns are why? So let's try to figure this out. So let's go over to here. Mortgage rates eased a little bit yesterday, and this is going to be off the table today because a 15 tick is going to take some of that away. But if you go over to here, here's basically what's happening. You got the Dow Jones. It's continuing to drop. We're now down 533. So it's a head scratcher on why this is occurring. The only thing I can say is people are just saying, okay, I'm going to move my money just to the sidelines for the short term because this might be a kind of a flash in the pan, or it can be a long, drawn-out process. Then we have the tariff stuff to worry about. Then we have the big, beautiful bill. There is so much stuff going on. I don't think anybody really knows where to put their money at this time because you put it into bond market and things happen like that and you see bond prices kind of tumbling. It's not good for bonds. So where do you put your money? That's the confusing part right now, folks. Usually, like I just said, you have this happening. Well, let's go over and show you just kind of why this happens. And I'm going to go up to the top, and I created this through AI. I basically just ask it, give me times in history where this happened and explain to me why it happens. So when you have the unrest in the world, basically. So here it is, stock market's reactions. People take risk off. Investors pull their money out of risky assets like stocks and cryptocurrencies and things like that. So stocks often decline. People fly to safety. Money moves into safe havens like gold and U.S. Treasuries, just like I was explaining. So where's the money going? What can go into defensive sectors? Maybe you're moving your money into some other energy sectors, staples and things like that into the equity markets or, ETFs and things like that. But that's also a head scratcher because you're like, okay, unless you're thinking that oil is going to spike, which it is, so you might get into an oil play, but other than that, it's confusing. So here's what the bond market normally does, like I say during these times. Safe haven demand, U.S. Treasuries rally, yields fall. Central bank, what do they usually do? Well, they'll cut rates or stimulus. Well, they're sure as hell not going to do a stimulus because we have too much money in the system already. So hopefully this might be another catalyst for the Fed to cut rates. So I can't really figure it out today. Here's some instances where this happened. So let me get my head out of the way so you can just see three instances in the past that we can kind of use as focal points. So the 9/11 attacks, I remember that briefly. or not briefly, I remember that like it was yesterday. I was putting on my pants, getting dressed for work. I was actually had a dentist appointment that morning before I was heading to work. And I was pulling up my pants, buckling my buckle, and the plane hit one of the trade centers. And I was like, my God, did I see what I saw? And I saw it. What happened? The market closed, treasuries rallied, and yields fell. Then you have the Ukraine war in 2022. This is during COVID and all kind of other things, but the global stock market declined, treasury yields dipped. And then the Cold War. This is right when I got in the business. I remember this vividly. Rates went up, and that was a head scratcher. Here's what happened. Stocks initially declined. Treasury bonds rose. So that didn't make any sense, but it was a learning lesson for me. But normally what you see is exactly the opposite. So that's why I'm sitting here trying to figure out what is going on behind the scenes. So I'm going to work on this all day for you guys, because now the Dow Jones is down over 500 points and the market's still not rallying in the bond market. So stay tuned. This is a head scratcher. We got no economic news today really to be a catalyst on any other side, because if you go to the Bloomberg calendar, you scroll down. I went down and I dug into as much data as I can. I put in like going down three tiers of importancy, and this is all I'm getting. Michigan's consumer sentiment, U.S. Baker Hughes rig count, and all this other stuff that really has nothing to do with interest rates today. So I will be back at the closing bell to let you guys know how this goes for today. But so far, it looks like we at least hit bottom, and now we might be, working our way back, but I'll let you know how this goes at the closing bell. So who I am and what do I do? We have this slogan here: one application, one credit pool. We're going to shop your loan over 30 different lenders. Now, how do we do that? Well, first off, my name is Dan Frio. I'd love to assist you if you're looking to buy or refinance. You can go to my website right here, therateupdate.com, and find out a whole bunch of information about us. But the interesting thing about me is I'm licensed in all 50 states as well as Puerto Rico, because I'm a federally licensed mortgage loan officer. I work at a federal bank. But the unique thing about our bank, we're not only a federal bank, we're also a large mortgage brokerage. We're set up with over 30 different lenders to assure you guys are getting the best rate in town as well as the lowest fees. So how do you figure out and reach out to me? Go to therateupdate.com. You can give us a call right through here, 844-775-5626. You can reach me. Just hit this Ask Dan button if you have any questions at all, or even if you want me to look at your loan estimate. We used to review loan estimates for people out there to say, okay, what rate are you locked in at now? Well, send me that rate quote. Let me see if I can beat it, or, save you some money on the rate, save you some money on the fees. If you're just looking out there to refinance, well, we can help you there as well. We have a RateWatch tool. Maybe the rate's not there right now for you, but let's say you're at 7.5. You're like, Dan, when these rates get to 6.5, let me know. I'd love to refinance. What you can do right through here is you can click the RateWatch tool. It'll launch this video for you so you understand what's going on. You can give me all your mortgage information. So as soon as the rate hits right where you want to refinance at, we'll get you locked in. I'll get you on the phone and get the paperwork started. We have over 3,000 videos on our YouTube channel, so check those out. We hand chose a little bit of those right through here. Probably the most important to you guys if you're looking to buy, refinance, or even work on your credit. So my name is Dan Frio. I'll be back at the closing bell to let you know how these things went for the day and the whys behind it. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.